Simon Says subscribe and click on the bell icon to receive notifications.
In many instances with your photography, you're going to want to create a different backdrop than what the image originally had. So post-production, using neural filters, you can create your own backdrop using AI with just search prompts. So for this particular client, I would like to have a different background than this generic one. So I'm not really sure which one yet, so I'm just going to kind of go shopping for it. But let's just see what the process is first of all. Well, the first thing you want to do is actually select the background. But in order for me to select the background, I need to select the subject first. So I think that's really kind of the best way to go, and I'll kind of just do an inverse selection. So what I'm going to do very simply is I'm going to come down here to select subject. If you don't see this option down here, it could be because you do not have the contextual taskbar activated. So make sure you select the layer. This will pop up, and then very simply I'm going to say select subject. And it's going to do its best to kind of put its little marching ants around there. It's going to see what's what, who's who, if anybody is anything at all. And then, if not, you can always refine the selection using some of your selection tools like the lasso, the quick selection, or maybe even you're working with vector to be able to do that, to convert from channels. You can do that as well. All right, so let's just say this is a good starting point for me. Okay, but what I'd like to do is now refine this search, right? Maybe I want to feather it a little bit. Maybe I want to make it so it's a little bit more sort of aware of her hair, you know, things like that. So how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to come over to here, again, to my contextual taskbar, and I'm going to come to here to select and mask. Notice there are other options here for advanced types of selection if you want, like smoothing your selection, expanding contrast, feathering your selection, etc. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just go to select and mask. And now this is going to take me to this dialog box of select and mask. And you'll notice over here in the upper right, I have this little view option right there with this little drop down. So the little drop down is going to show me different ways that I may want to view it. So if I go back over to what I was looking at before with my marching ants, I can see all that. Sometimes if you put it to black, you can really see the contrast between the foreground and the background. I'll also notice that I didn't get some of the selection there, so I might want to add to that as well. And then you also might want to try it with different ways, right? Just really depending on your needs. All right, so very good. Now let's just go ahead and see, first of all, I need to enhance this. So I'm just going to go and zoom in a little bit, and I'm going to make my brush a little bit bigger just to kind of get a little bit more of this selection. So I'm going to hold down my Alt or Option key, because essentially what I'm doing here is I am selecting the outside. I'm not selecting her. That's why I'm removing the selection. All right, now this time I'm going to just add on a tiny bit to the flowers. Okay, and then if I would zoom in a little bit more here, I'm just going to add on to that, and maybe I would want to make my brush a little bit smaller. I think that's pretty good for right now. Okay, and now I've got what I need, because really essentially I'm just building out a backdrop for her. All right, now the next part you may want to consider, let me just go ahead and just bring this up a tiny bit more, okay, is working with her hair a little bit. So I just want you to notice just a few things here. Up on top here where it says select subject, you can try clicking on that again and see if that helps you. But if you click on the little drop down, you're going to see that we have two choices. You have the device select subject for quicker results, or you have the cloud select subject for detailed results. I'm going to go ahead and try that one. Then when I select on select subject, then it will continue to do a better version of that. Notice it's spinning around and around. Let's see what it can do. Take a look at the hair, potentially. We're going to do the hair in just a second, a little bit more. And now I'm just going to say refine hair. Okay. And got a little bit more kind of the wisps on the outside. Let's go ahead and bring it up just a tiny, tiny bit. And go over here to Smart Radius on the right-hand side. And now I'm pretty much ready to kind of take my chances at this point, because we can always refine this after the fact, because we are going to be working with a mask. So I'm going to click OK, because this is only a part about my selection. Nothing really more here, because my goal is to select what? Just the outside here. So now that we have everything all selected, let's go ahead and go into our filter menu, and let's go ahead and choose Neural Filters. And it's going to take us now to our Neural Filters panel. You can see she's going to kind of disappear because she is not the one that's selected. That's not what we're concerned about. We're only concerned about the background. So I'm going to choose Background Creator, and notice how that toggles on. And that might give you a nice little overview of what it is. Collaborate with the power of AI and create expressive backdrops, textures, and patterns based on what you describe. Okay, that's pretty cool. So here is a sample prompt that they're giving us, and you can certainly take that one if you want to. It's really up to you. But you can also take a look at some of their popular prompts. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and click on that. And we're going to see, oh wow, there's some really nice ones here. And I'll just go ahead and, I don't know, just choose this one, Starry Night, double exposure. And they're giving you some ideas, not only of what you can output, but how you want to describe things. Okay, Starry Night, double exposure, HD, stunning. Okay, wood, origami, wow, that's kind of neat. Liquid swirls in beautiful teal and blue colors with gold powder. Wow, so amazing. A lot of detail. Here's this like cyberpunk, right? Very, very different. So this can, at any level, create patterns for you at any time, not just as backdrops for another image, but anytime you wanted to create something, you can do that. Now, I have found that when you are trying to create something and there's nothing on the stage, it won't work. You need to actually select just a white square or something like that, and it'll just kind of plop it on top of it. Just don't select anything so it doesn't override it. But just know that you can't just make something out of thin air, right? So just keeping that in mind. You might be able to do that with the regular generative AI, but not in this case. All right, you will get an error message, but there is a workaround. Okay, so I don't know, let's just, for fun, this one's kind of neat. I'll just go ahead and choose that one. And let's just see how this works. We have select a preview, and they're going to give us 3 different options that we may like based off of this cyberpunk neon electric style. Okay, wow, that's kind of cool, right? Not so bad. I kind of like that. But what if I wanted to put in my own? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say abstract red, right? I'm just going to be very, very broad in this case. And then I just want you to notice here there's this number 85 for variety. We're going to explore what that means in just a second. Because even though it's only showing us 3, if you move your mouse over any of these, right, they're going to say, hey, you know what? If you like this one, we've got other ones similar to that. So you can go up to about 85 different variety types there. Okay, so that's pretty neat. Okay, you might want to choose any one of these. Totally up to you. You do have the option of selecting more than one if you like. In the interest of our time, since it does take a little bit of time to select more than one, you can absolutely do that. You can go shopping and say, I want this one, I want this one, I want this one, and then just decide, hey, you know what, I'm going to return the one that I don't want, ultimately. Okay, so I'm just going to choose one for now, right? Just like that, it gives me a nice little green, it gives me a nice little blue and white checkbox right there. I'm pretty happy with that for now. That's good. Now, if you are planning to do more than one, I do recommend doing the new layer group, right? But again, you have all these different options down below, right? But I'm going to keep it as this. And notice it's still processing. Even though I just chose one, it's still processing. So keep that in mind. Just be patient. And eventually, I'll be able to click OK. And then this guy will come with us. And there we go. I'm going to go ahead and click OK now. And let's see the magic. Let's come in. And beautiful. There she is. And there's her outline. So right away I'm just going to show you, hey, you know what, don't freak out by this because she's still there. All we have to do is mask her. Okay, because we basically have to say, hey, you know what, this is what's been highlighted all around there. Let's just go ahead and click on our little layer mask and then she will appear there. Okay, so don't worry about that. Now you can see she's part of this nice little background. Okay, now we can see how the backdrops work. You can see that's pretty neat. Now, if you wanted to manipulate this at all, if you're not happy with, let's just say, these little white shadows and stuff like that, and even that little thing right there, you can always come back into the mask. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on the mask while holding down my control key or the command key on the Mac. And I'm going to zoom in, and I'm just going to want to see kind of how I'm doing here, right, with all this. Because maybe, just maybe, I want to get rid of that kind of white glow. And then maybe there's some other things over there. Oh, I need to get rid of that, right? So let's just see what I can do here. In this case, I'm going to go back over here to my context menu, and I'm going to expand the selection. So I'm just going to go ahead and just say, you know what, let's expand it by like 7. I click OK, and then notice how it kind of comes into her face a little bit, because I'm expanding the selection of the outside. And now from here, I'm going to do the Alt and Delete option on my keyboard to basically say, hey, you know what, let's mask it a little further into her face. So Alt or Option and Delete, and now that's a lot cleaner. It's very subtle. We just kind of chop that off a little bit. Okay, so you want to kind of just try all that stuff out. If you wanted to, maybe one more, maybe you do a little bit of a feather option, right? And then just maybe bring that up a little bit, just kind of a little bit of a cleaner thing there. Okay, and then once again, let's just see if that does anything at all. All I just did was my Alt or Option plus the Delete key. And then I'm going to go ahead and deselect, and that looks much, much better. I love that. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and fix any of this stuff here. Don't really want that. All right, that's a little bit much. So now I can go back to my regular selection tool. And then guess what? If I try to do this, it just goes away. No problem. No problem. So that's why, you know, when we're doing our selection, we don't have to worry about it being super perfect. And of course, you're going to want to make sure that your brush hardness is down as low as it can be to have a little bit of a more kind of natural sort of edge to it. All right, let's go ahead and zoom out, and that is pretty cool. All right, so just try it out. The options are limitless. All right, have fun with this. Really be creative, be productive, be impressive. See you soon.
If you're not a subscriber, click down below to subscribe so you get notified about similar videos we upload. To see the full course that this video came from, click over there. And click over there to see more videos from Simon Says It.